Stop for a second. Look at this date, 10,000 years before Christ. To understand how impossible this date is, you have to understand where we, the human race, were supposed to be. According to every history textbook you've ever read, at this time, humans were primitive. We were hunter-gatherers. We lived in small, wandering bands. We hadn't invented the wheel. We hadn't invented pottery. We certainly hadn't invented agriculture. We were simply trying to survive the end of the last ice age. We are told that civilization is a slow ladder. It took us thousands of years to learn how to stack stones into simple walls, then thousands more to build Stonehenge. Then, finally, the pyramids. That is the story, that is the timeline. But then, we found this. This is Göbekli Tepe, and it breaks everything. It is 7,000 years older than the Great Pyramids. It is 6,000 years older than Stonehenge. It involves moving stones weighing up to 50 tons. It displays artistic craftsmanship that rivals the Renaissance. And the most terrifying part, it was built by people who, according to science, shouldn't have known how to stack two bricks together. This isn't just a ruin. This is a crime scene. A crime scene that proves we have forgotten who we are. Today, we are going to uncover the truth about the site that archaeologists are terrified to talk about. Because if Göbekli Tepe is real, then history is wrong. The story of how we almost missed this discovery is ironic. In the 1960s, American archaeologists from the University of Chicago surveyed this hill. They saw some broken limestone slabs poking out of the ground. They looked at them, shrugged, and marked it as a medieval cemetery, a Byzantine outpost. Nothing special. They walked right over the most important discovery in human history and left. Fast forward to 1994. A German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt arrives. He had read the old reports, but something bothered him. He went to the site, known by the locals as Potbelly Hill. Schmidt didn't see a cemetery. The ground was littered with flint chips, millions of them. Not natural stones, but man-made tools. Knives, scrapers, blades. The ground was practically paved with the debris of human industry. He started to dig, and immediately he hit stone. Not a grave marker, but the top of a massive pillar. As his team dug deeper, the scale of what they were finding began to dawn on them. These weren't rough boulders dragged into a pile. These were perfectly carved, T-shaped monoliths. Some were 18 feet tall. Schmidt sent organic material from the site to be carbon dated. He expected it to be maybe 3,000 years old, maybe 4,000. When the results came back, the lab must have thought they made a mistake. They ran it again. 9,500 BC to 10,000 BC. Schmidt realized instantly what this meant. He was standing in a cathedral built by cavemen. He famously said, "In this minute, I knew that if I didn't leave immediately, I would be here for the rest of my life." And he was right. He excavated Göbekli Tepe until the day he died.
Let's talk about the engineering, because this is where the hunter-gatherer theory starts to fall apart. Look at these pillars. They are shaped like the letter T. Why? They are stylized human beings. If you look closely, you can see carved arms coming down the sides, hands with long fingers meeting at the belly, wearing elaborate belts and loincloths. These represent giants, or gods, or ancestors. Some of these pillars weigh 50 tons. That is the weight of a fully loaded Boeing 737. Now, remember the context. These people had no wheels, no beasts of burden, no horses, no oxen. Those animals hadn't been domesticated yet. They had no metal tools, no bronze chisels, no iron saws. They only had stone. So how do you carve a 50-ton block of hard limestone with a piece of flint? And more importantly, how do you move it? Engineers estimate that to move and erect just one of these pillars would require a coordinated workforce of at least 500 men. 500 men. In a hunter-gatherer society, a typical group is maybe 20 to 50 people. To build this, you would need to bring together different tribes, different clans, thousands of people from hundreds of miles away. You would need to feed them, house them, and organize them. You need a hierarchy. You need complex social structure. You need civilization. But civilization wasn't supposed to exist yet. And it gets worse. Radar scans of the hill reveal that what we see today is just the tip of the iceberg. There are at least 20 circles buried underground, more than 200 pillars. We have excavated less than 5% of the site. This wasn't a small shrine. This was a massive regional complex, a Vatican of the Stone Age, operating on an industrial scale. But the engineering isn't the scariest part. It's the message. The artwork at Göbekli Tepe is not what you'd expect. It's not peaceful. There are no scenes of hunting, no scenes of daily life, no farming. Instead, the pillars are covered in menacing creatures: scorpions, vultures, spiders, snakes, wild boars with bared teeth. It is a gallery of death. Researchers like Dr. Martin Sweatman from the University of Edinburgh have proposed a chilling theory. They believe these aren't just pictures of animals. They are astronomical constellations. The scorpion corresponds to Scorpio. The vulture corresponds to Cygnus or Lyra. Using computer software to rewind the sky back to 10,950 BC, the pillars seem to align perfectly with the stars at that exact moment. Why that date? What happened in 10,950 BC? This date coincides exactly with the onset of the Younger Dryas period, a time when the world suddenly plunged back into a deep freeze. The leading theory now suggests this was caused by fragments of a comet striking the Earth. It would have been an apocalypse: massive wildfires, floods, a blockout of the sun, a darker age that wiped out the megafauna, the mammoths, the saber-toothed tigers, and nearly wiped out humanity. Is it possible that Göbekli Tepe is not just a temple? Is it a memorial? A warning? Did the survivors of this cataclysm come together to build a massive stone library, carving the date of the destruction into stone so that future generations, us, would never forget? This is the day the sky fell. If this theory is true, then these primitives knew more about astronomy and mathematics than we did until the last few centuries. And then we come to the final, most baffling mystery of all. Around 8000 BC, after standing for over 1,000 years, the people of Göbekli Tepe did something insane. They didn't just abandon the site. They didn't let it fall into ruin. They buried it. Deliberately, carefully, they hauled in thousands of tons of rubble, dirt, and refuse, and they packed it in. They covered their masterpiece completely, creating the artificial hill we see today. Why? Why spend centuries building the greatest monument on Earth only to erase it from the map? Imagine us building the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower and then getting everyone together to bury it in concrete. Were they hiding it? Were they protecting it from something? Or did the religion change? Did the old gods depicted on these stones become taboo? Whatever the reason, this act of burial is the only reason the site survived. It was preserved in a time capsule, untouched by weather or looters, waiting for 12,000 years. Waiting for us. For a long time, we have been arrogant. We looked at the past and saw only savages. We patted ourselves on the back for being the pinnacle of evolution. But Göbekli Tepe forces us to be humble. It proves that there is a chapter of human history that is completely missing. A chapter where we were organized, skilled, and sophisticated long before we should have been. Graham Hancock calls us a species with amnesia. We have forgotten where we came from. We have forgotten the catastrophes we survived. The builders of Göbekli Tepe tried to leave us a message. They carved it into 50-ton pillars so it would last forever. They buried it so it wouldn't be destroyed. They wanted us to know that civilization is fragile, that the sky can fall at any moment. The question is, are we listening? If civilization started 6,000 years earlier than we thought, what else have we forgotten?